In our last video, we showed you how to import a scorecard structure to effectively create a scorecard from an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to navigate over here to the scorecard section of the product. We'll click on the city government, and here's the scorecard that we imported. Now you'll notice that there's gray little icons next to each one of the objects in the scorecard. That's because there's no data in there. So we can load data in a variety of ways. We could manually click on each one of these metrics and start typing data in, but if we're going to load a lot of history, that's a very cumbersome process. So in our Connect application, we have the ability to import data. So I'm going to show you how. There's where we imported the structure. Now we're going to go through a very similar wizard, and I'm going to show you how we import the metric values. I have another spreadsheet out there that's got a lot of it's just a CSV file. It's got a lot of data in it, and I'll show you what the data looks like in just a second with the spreadsheet. So we go to our source data, and there's our scorecard name, perspective. Here's the metrics, and you'll notice that the metric ID came in as a label, and then we have our date and our values. So it's the same spreadsheet layout as the import, except it's got two additional columns in it. One is the date, which is the date for the period in question, and one is the value for the period in question for that particular metric. So we've got January data. If we scroll down, you'll notice that we have then February data, and as we scroll down we have March data. So here's a spreadsheet that's got all of our data in it. What I want to do is import that data, and I have to specify where it's going to go. So I'm going to tell it to put that data in the city government city scorecard. So that's where it's going to fit. Since the spreadsheets were identical with the exception of the two additional columns, it automatically maps all the column names. It knows exactly where things go. I'm not going to schedule this. Traditionally, if we're going to schedule updates to data, we're going to be pulling information from a database on a regular basis, say monthly or quarterly or whatever. In this case, I'm backfilling a bunch of historical data, so I'm not going to schedule it. Now all I have to do is click on Run the import, and you'll remember when we looked at the scorecard over there, we had all the gray values or gray icons. Now we're going to refresh the screen here. You see that we now have success, and so when I go back over to my scorecard application, if I refresh the screen here, you're going to notice that we're probably still going to have gray values, and that's because, oh no, we have data for July, don't we? Let's look at, yeah, we do have gray values there. See the gray values? That's because we don't have any data for July. So I'm going to scroll back in time to June, because I think that was the last period that we had any data for. And there you go. You see the colors come in for all the metrics. And it really is just that simple. Again, sticking with our mantra. Strategy made simple. Thanks for watching.